This is truly a group effort in election protection. It's a group effort in so many ways. It is the Lawyers Committee working with Common Cause and the many other coalition partners. It is the law firms here working together to make sure that the effort goes forward in New York, and working with the wonderful Lawyers Committee staff and with all of those lawyers who are out there in the states sending people out to the polls. Well, we may answer the phone. They go out to the polls after we call them. And then, of course, it is also a group effort within each one of our firms. And I would particularly like to acknowledge that it is the lawyers, certainly. It's also the legal assistants, the other staff, and our tech people who set up all those. Thank you. Who suddenly have to set up 40 computers and phones when it takes hours for them to get in because of Hurricane Sandy. And so thank you to everyone.
Hi, I'd just like to reiterate the thanks that have been offered to everyone in this room. It was Lowenstein Sandler's first time running a national call center, and we had enormous help from the people standing with me on this podium, for which we're very grateful. And I'd also like to say that the reason we do this is because there's so many people out there trying to vote and having a hard time. And one of the calls that came in early in the day at our call center on the day before the election came from a guy that I'm just going to tell you about for a minute. His name is Matt. And he called and he said, I got 10,000 guys working for me and they need to vote. And the call got referred to the command center where I was because there were 10,000 guys working for him. And I got on the phone and said, okay, Matt, who are you? And who are these guys? He said, I'm the dispatcher for the emergency crews. And my guys are clearing the roads and putting back the power lines, and they got to vote. And they got to vote tomorrow, so what are you going to do for me? And I said, well, Matt, how many of them are from New Jersey? 2,000. I said, okay. We'll take care of the people from New Jersey. We had, before the election, gotten the election officials to agree that people could vote in whatever precinct they were located, without regard to whether it was their own precinct if they were displaced. And the emergency workers were within that. So we worked with him to create a schedule so everybody got 40 minutes off to vote in whatever precinct they were stationed that day. And I said, okay, where are the other 8,000 from, Matt? He said, they're from all other 49 states. I said, get out of here, you don't have crews from Alaska and Hawaii. And he said, I do have crews from Alaska and Hawaii. So I referred that call to the Lawyers Committee. I know when to kick something upstairs. But they actually helped him with the border states. There was an enormous amount of work done to get those emergency crews who were spending their days putting the state back together to be able to vote. And it was one of the calls that came in, one of the many calls that came in that reminded me why we do this work, because there are a lot of people out there who go to enormous lengths to be able to exercise the right to vote, and these guys were really serious about it. And so, you know, it's a privilege to help people who are that serious about participating in the democracy. Thanks.
I'm privileged to close this part of the program, and for Davis Polk, I can tell you that there's hardly anything we do that's more rewarding than working on Election Day to help voters. Catherine has captured exactly the kind of situations that we've dealt with, and nothing was more difficult than this year because of Sandy. But now Marge has suggested to you that you recognize what a group effort this is, and Catherine has told you how helpful it is to the voters. Let me close by suggesting something else that's just huge. This reflects something that is very special in New York. We have a tradition among the large law firms and the medium-sized and the small law firms to do pro bono work, to commit to pro bono work, to make it a vital part of our firms, all of us. It's wonderful to share that with the other firms, and if you don't know it, it is a limelight feature of New York's legal community that is not as widely shared throughout the United States of America as it should be. And we wish it were as broad and as deep in other places as it is in New York. So we greatly appreciate Common Cause recognizing that. We greatly appreciate the opportunity that the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under law presents us in being able to do this work. It is not something we need an honor for. It is a joy. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.